in the village of Nambi. Soft wind rustles through the ancient baobab trees. The golden hues of the setting sun spill across the dusty paths of Nambi. In the distance, the rhythmic beat of drums echoes, summoning the villagers to the sacred ground. In the heart of Nambi, a village untouched by the chaos of the outside world, lived Elder Omari, the man of visions, the keeper of mysteries. To the villagers, he wasn't just a leader, he was a prophet. A bridge between the divine and the living. His words were like thunder rolling across the skies, his presence a beacon of hope in times of despair. They said he could heal the sick with a mere touch, summon rain with a whispered prayer, and foresee the feet of men as if reading from the scrolls of the gods. His miracles were undeniable, his power absolute. But in the shadows of his greatness, behind the reverent gazes and whispered praises, a truth lay hidden, one that was waiting, like a dormant fire, to be unearthed. The dust swirls as a lone figure steps into the village square. Mossy, a young traveler with eyes sharp as a hawk and a mind restless as the winds, observes the scene before him. Villagers kneel before Elder Omari, their voices low with prayer, their faces etched with devotion. Mossy had heard of Omari's wonders during his travels, how the elder could bring the dead back to life, how his prophecies shaped the fate of Nambi. But Mossy had also heard the whispers, the faint, fearful murmurs of those who dared to question, and were never seen again. As he watched the villagers bow in blind reverence, a thought lingered in his mind, like a shadow that refused to fade. Mossy said, whispering to himself, "Faith is a powerful thing, but so is fear." The next day, the village square is filled with tension. A desperate mother rushes to Elder Omari, cradling her frail son. The boy's skin burns with fever, his breath shallow and quick. Mother, pleading, her voice cracking with despair. "Great One, save my child. You are the chosen, the blessed. You have healed many, please, I beg you." Elder Omari steps forward, his eyes closed, his hands raised to the heavens. He places his palms gently on the boy's forehead, muttering ancient incantations in a voice as steady as the river's flow. The boy convulses, his body trembling, then, suddenly, his breathing calms. His eyes flutter open, clear and bright. The crowd erupts. Villagers, chanting, voices filled with awe. A miracle! A miracle! The Great One has done it again. They called it a sign from the heavens. Another testament to Omari's divine power. But Mossy, he saw something different. A flicker in Omari's eyes. A hesitation in his breath. It wasn't the first time Mossy had seen supposed miracles, and not all of them were what they seemed. Night falls over Nambi. The village sleeps under the watchful gaze of the moon, but Mossy's curiosity keeps him awake. Quietly, he sleeps behind the sacred temple, his footsteps silent against the earth. The old wooden door creaks as he pushes it open. Inside, the air was thick with the scent of herbs and incense. Rows of vials glisten under the dim light, filled with strange liquids. Ancient texts line the walls, their pages worn with age, their secrets whispered in languages long forgotten. But amidst the relics and rituals, one truth became clear: it was not faith that fueled Omari's miracles. It was knowledge. The knowledge of plants, of poisons and cures, hidden behind the veil of holiness. Suddenly, a shadow looms behind Mossy. A deep, steady voice breaks the silence. Elder Omari, a calm but menacing. "Curiosity is a dangerous thing, traveler." Morning light breaks over the village. Mossy is dragged before the council of elders, his arms bound, his face bruised but defiant. The villagers gather, their eyes filled with confusion and anger. Elder Omari, addressing the crowd, his voice booming. "This man doubts the will of the gods. He calls our faith a lie. Shall we let him poison our hearts with disbelief?" Villagers, murmuring, some fearful, others enraged. Blasphemy. He mocks the Great One. Punish him. But Mosi, despite the weight of their judgment, raises his voice, clear and unwavering. Mosi. No. I do not mock fate, I challenge blind obedience. Omori is wise, yes. But he is no god. He uses the wisdom of the earth, not the power of the heavens. And he hides this truth to control you. A heavy silence descends over the crowd. Then, an elder steps forward, an old woman named Nana Sefiu, her eyes sharp despite her years, her voice steady as stone. Nana Sefiu. Is it true, Omori? Do you use the secrets of men and call them miracles? Omori's eyes shift, his lips part, but no words come. His silence is louder than any confession. The villagers' faces transform from reverence to realization. The spell is broken. And in that moment, fate shattered. Not in the gods, but in the man who wore their name like a mask. Elder Omari, once revered, now walks into exile, his figure shrinking against the vastness of the open plains. The villagers, freed from their chains of blind devotion, begin to seek knowledge for themselves. The sacred ground no longer feels like a prison, but a place of learning and growth. Fate is not the enemy. But when it is wielded as a weapon, it blinds more than it heals. And so, the people of Nembi learned not to fear wisdom, but to embrace it. For true strength lies not in following without question, but in seeking the truth, even when it is hidden behind the faces of those we trust.